when we're talking about a nightmare story, I thought that person had a nightmare story. I have one about me with a bad customer. Stay tuned. Hey guys, if you're new to the channel, this is Car Share Genius. Make sure that you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification so you can get every new episode that we drop. This new channel, I want to target specifically about what to do as a Turo host, the ins, the outs, the new rules, everything that you need to know. So definitely make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. Again, guys, if you're new to the channel, please hit that button. And just for the people who are curious about Turo, who are looking to get some leadership, some mentorship, I actually have a course that I have here that you can check out that's going to run you A through Z, exactly on how I do things, how I operate, and how I have a successful fleet that continuously have 90% bookings. So you definitely want to go ahead and check it out. The link is going to be down in the description. With all that being said, let's get into it. So in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I went through as a host about a week ago while I was in Thailand. That's right, I'm operating remotely. That's why you want to get the course. It shows you how to do that. I operate remotely. Cars are stationed in Charlotte, North Carolina, but I had a guest from hell, and I just want to jump into it. So I had a guest who rented out my 2011 Dodge Charger. Now, again, it's a 2011. It's in pretty great condition, like fully loaded, everything. Still looks like I'm the only owner, right? I'm the only owner. I got it in 2011. It still runs pretty great. And this guest, this seems like she was a drama queen. She wanted to fight. She wanted to go through all these issues and whatnot. And this is what she said. First off, she said the car was dirty. So in a situation like that, if your team does not clean the car properly, this is why I say try to get your cars clean at the automation system. Like I use AutoBell. You can go to your local cleaning detail shop. Try to do it in daytime if you can. So in this situation, our guys were not able to get it in the daytime, so they try to clean it at night. And if you do clean it at night, you want to make sure that you have flashlights. I use a headlight that you can buy, and I'll drop a link on where you can get that type of headlight. And it's really cheap, probably about $9 or so, but it gives you the brightest illumination. So if you want to vacuum at night, you can. It's going to give you the clearest illumination, especially if you're dealing with a black vehicle. My vehicle is black inside, black outside. So the guest was like, this car's not clean. Then she said it was paraphernalia, meaning that it was drugs in the vehicle. And to me, we looked at the pictures because I work remotely. It wasn't no signs of drugs. I sometimes you do have guests, like in Charlotte, North Carolina, we do deal with guests who try to do all types of crazy stuff so they can get the bill lower or get a free ride. This is extreme. So she sent a message to my nephew because I was flying back from Bangkok to Bahrain. And the guest was saying, hey, this car's unsapped, blah, blah, blah. So I told my nephew, like, look, prior to her saying she found this stuff in the car, we're going to offer a free gas. Tell her we're offering a free gas because we can still text on the airplane, but you can't make a phone call on the airplane. It's prohibited. So after that happened, the guest was looking forward to getting out of the car. So she called Turo when I was calling Turo. I finally arrived, and I was trying to figure out what she was trying to do. So in the procedure of this, and this is what you need to know, make sure you're paying attention to this part right here. If a guest does not want to drive your vehicle, Turo is going to automatically call you and inform you of what's going on with your vehicle, where is it at, or whatnot, if the car needs to be towed. None of that happened. So the guest abandoned the vehicle. Not my words, Turo's words, when they were reading me back on the feedback of what the guest was doing. She abandoned the vehicle, and I was like, okay, that's okay. So where's the key? That was the question of the hour. Where's the key? Because I always tell people to leave the key in a lockbox if you're going to leave, or put it in a cup holder if you got to. She didn't read the instructions. She didn't take the lockbox that she was supposed to take. And I had him calling her. So she comes off bizarre as like, oh, I'm surprised that you're going to call me. Yes, I'm going to call you. I'm the owner of the vehicle. Like, what's going on? I understand what you say, what's going on with the vehicle. And I'm going to talk to my staff, which I did talk to my staff. And I did show them, hey, this is stuff that you need to be mindful of. And I say, hey, I need to get the key. Do you have the key in the car? She's like, no, I was told by Turo I can keep the key. That's a red flag, guys. If a guest say that they abandoned the vehicle, what is the purpose of you keeping the key? Because my question to her was like, if you abandon the vehicle, if you let the vehicle, why would you take the key? You could have left the key in a cup holder. No one's gonna take that car because we have automatic kill switches in all our cars. And she just paused for 2 minutes, literally, just trying to figure out what she was gonna say. Yeah, like, hey, I gotta figure out what he's saying because he's pretty on top of this stuff. Yes, been pretty much on top. So she said, well, they tell me I can keep it. I said, no, I need to get the key back. So when do you plan on coming back so we can get the key? I'm not coming back to your place. I don't feel safe. Even though our neighborhood is pretty quiet, nothing's going on in the area, that part of Charlotte. And she went to get the car the first time, which was crazy. And she didn't have no plan of turning the key back in. So I'm talking to her, being very respectful. I'm telling her, like, hey, this needs to be done. I need to know a time so I can coordinate something. Now I'm trying to do coordination with her. You got to figure out, you need to work that out with Turo. That was her words. So I'm like, no, we're talking. You got the key. I'm the host. That's not how that works here. They're going to go back and say, if you go to Turo and say, she said coordinate with you, they're going to turn back and say, well, you need to coordinate back with her. So a lot of flim flam going on. And she said, I don't got time for this. I said, no, we do have time for it because if I don't have my key, I'm going to charge you for a key. And she said, you're not going to charge me for anything, and hung up. So this is where it gets very fun. That you thought that was fun. This is where the fun part began. I went ahead, had my nephew go ahead and get a key made, kill that one key that she had. Even though we're writing to her on Turo, she's not responding. She's not saying anything. She just like, I'm not going to respond to him. She tries to play the victim because I looked at her comments. Oh, I had a traumatic experience. I'm like, what? It's like, if there was drugs in the car, she making it seem like it was needles and stuff. If anything, it was marijuana. If that was marijuana, all we can know is that that's balled up grass, and you could have put it in the car because if it was everywhere, we would have caught that. So I wasn't buying that story, and Turo wasn't buying that story either. It's just like, hey, you wrote to her, you told her what was going on, you showed her the receipt, and it cost $180 for the key. And she came back, oh, he doesn't want to work with me, and said, no, that's not the case. We try to work with you at the very beginning. You hung up the phone on us when we try to coordinate getting the key because you're like, I don't know, I'm gonna give you the key. And it's like, it's on my time. It's like, no, it's on my time because I'm the host. And you gotta lay it down firm. Now she gave me a 1-star review. And I turned around and gave her a 1-star review based off her behavior. Her 1-star review was just like, oh, drugs in the car, things like that. And she just seems like, oh, I'm scared. Now this is an adult woman, right? This woman's in her 30s, acting like she's like, I don't know, 15, 17 years old. And it just makes me wonder, when you get these type of guests, how to handle them. Don't cuss them out. I will tell you that. Do not cuss them out. You got to be straightforward with them. You got to be firm. Even though they may give you 1 star, you can always counter that most of the time with Turo. Just talk to them and say, hey, this is what happened. And even with that 1 star, it doesn't affect you compared to what affects that guest because it has to take a number of 1 stars to bring me down from I would say from a 4.9 all the way to a 4 or below, a bunch of them. And you just gotta be mindful of that. Take your time when you got your vehicles out there and make sure you clean them. With this gas, it's still ongoing. We're still waiting on Turo, the insurance people, to talk in regards to what she was doing. Because talking to Turo at the end, we told them that we killed the key because she did not give us a time. We stated it. I called her on the phone. I shot her an email, or not email, but a message in the message app. It's after the fact. Then people tell her, hey, you could get charged for the key. Now she wants me to call her to coordinate something. It's like we're not playing that game. We're not going back and forth with you. So at the end of the day, we're going to end up being right because of everything that we've been doing. We always follow the procedure. We always list everything out. And that's why I say when you do this, and you'll learn this in the course too. Again, the course is right here. You will see exactly what you need to do when you're writing these automated messages. I write additional messages for that Dodge Charger to let people know about kill switches, about additional fees with the vehicle, about having additional drivers, making sure that they're on, all those things and more. And you don't want to be caught up in a situation where you're taken advantage of. That's why I tell people, make sure you understand the terms and conditions. Anything that comes up by Turo, and you're looking at this as a serious side hustle or something that can actually replace your income, you want to make sure that you read everything top down to bottom, because if you're waiting on Turo to figure it out, you're wrong. You need to be able to point stuff out. Just like if you was a lawyer, hey, if you go to this paragraph in this article here that y'all sent me, it would say this is what this is about. And 9 times out of 10, you're gonna win. So guys, I hope that we get this result. This might be a part 3. I wanted to share that story with you with the crazy customer. It wasn't crazy as me videotaping her, but I might show you the conversations in between and everything that we have. We're waiting on the resolution. I feel like the resolution is going to favor on our side after we did everything, after we showed the receipt, after she didn't respond. We asked about where the key, no response, all this back and forth stuff. I think Turo is going to be like, hey, which one's more valuable? Is it this guest or this all-star host that's been here with us for so long? Because they got to look at that too. At the end, they have to look at, okay, is he in right? Am I in right for going ahead and killing the key for security issues? Because we were having conversations and they writing everything down. It's just like you can't have a wow key out there, or go with the guest who only rents every once in a while. Guys, let me know what your thoughts are below. Again, my name is Mr. Luke Brooks. I see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe. Give me some likes up. And don't forget, everything's going to be down in the description. The course, the products that I'm talking about, you definitely want to check that out. Okay, guys, see you next time. Take care.